What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I'm going to be doing a penetration test with my 416 Ruger. I'm going to be shooting these giant pieces of wood. These are some aspens that recently fell over in a storm, and the storm workers cut it up and left them on the side of the road. So I grabbed them. So they're relatively fresh. I would say they're about 2 months old, so they've had a little bit of time to dry out, but they're not rotted at all. And each of these is about 18 inches thick. So I've already shot logs with my 416 Ruger. I've shot a giant oak log, very similar to one of these, that was 22 inches thick. And the 416 Ruger just zipped right through like it was butter. So now what I want to do is I want to see if it can penetrate through 2 of these 18-inch diameter aspens. Now, aspen is a lot softer than oak, but still it's a very heavy wood. These are pretty heavy. They probably weigh like 300 pounds. I had to lift them up and put them on this stand here. But I'm going to be using 2 different types of ammo. I got some Hornady Dangerous Game Solids, and I have some Buffalo Bore Dangerous Game 416 Ruger. So the Hornady Dangerous Game Solids are 400 grains. They're steel jacketed, and they have a muzzle velocity of 2,400 feet per second. And I've chronographed these, and I can confirm that I do get that velocity out of my 20-inch barrel Ruger M77 guide gun. That's the rifle I'm going to be using. So 2,400 feet per second, 400 grain bullet, steel jacketed, 5,100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. And then I'm going to try this Buffalo Bore Dangerous Game 416 Ruger. And this one is a 350 grain monometal bullet. And the muzzle velocity is around 2,675 feet per second. And I have chronographed that out of my 20-inch barrel Ruger M77 Hawkeye guide gun. And that's 5,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, so almost the same amount of energy as a 458 lot, okay? A 458 lot tops out at around 5,800 foot-pounds. This one will have 5,500 foot-pounds. So massive power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first shoot these pieces of wood at the narrowest parts, which is what you see here. And if it passes through at the narrow parts, I'm going to rotate these logs to the wider parts that are about 1 or 2 inches thicker. So let me just show you guys with the tape measure what I mean. So here's a tape measure just so you can see. All right, and we have just under 18 inches, 17.5 inches. And then on this one, same thing. We got about 17 inches, okay? Now, this is the narrower section. If I go the longer way, we get around 18 or 19 inches, actually 19.5, the longer way, okay? So first I'm gonna try the narrower way, and then I'm going to try the longer way. If it doesn't pass through the narrow way, then we know it doesn't make sense to shoot the longer section, okay? So this is 36 to 40 inches of wood, all right? That is just absolutely ridiculous. And then here's also 19.5 on this one, all right? So these are fresh, okay? They're solid, they're not rotten, as you can see. Okay, this is fresh wood, freshly cut. This tree fell down about 2 or 3 months ago, and it's had a little bit of time to dry out, but it might still be a little bit wet. So let's see what happens here, guys. Do you think it's going to go through both of these, or do you think it's just going to go through one? Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's get started shooting and see what happens. So this is the rifle I'm going to be using. It's a Ruger M77 Hawkeye guide gun. It's got a 20-inch barrel. And I got this Athlon Midas BTR Gen 2 1 to 6 power scope. I got some Alaska Arms LLC quick detach scope rings, and I have a Timney trigger in there. My local gunsmith bead blasted the bolt and the extractor so it wouldn't reflect sunlight. I have some custom iron sights on this thing that have tritium vials. You see those tritium vials there? These are express style sights, but I have custom sights. They were made by Tool Tech Gun Sight out of Michigan, and these are night sights. I got 1 vial on the front sight, and then I got 2 vials on the rear sight, and this is for dangerous game protection in low light situations. If I'm in Alaska and it's dark out or near dark and I got to protect myself with this rifle, these iron sights will work even in the dark. I have this Mason leather cartridge cuff. Absolutely love it. And let me just show you what it looks like on the other side. Okay, Mason leather. And if you want to get one like this, there's a link in the description below this video. You can get 10% off if you use my promo code. And this cartridge cuff just carries rounds really nicely. Look at that thick leather. Just grips those rounds nice. So let's see what happens, guys. Let's see if we can't penetrate those logs. All right, guys. First shot's going to be with the 400 grain Dangerous Game Solid. Let's see what happens here. All right, here we go. Fire in the hole. Holy cow. That is just some crazy recoil. Man, let's go check it out. See what happens. All right, here we go. Fire in the hole. Holy cow. That is just some crazy recoil. Man, let's go check it out. See what happens. Fire in the hole. Wow, guys, you're not going to believe this. Looks like we passed through both of these. That is just ridiculous, guys. Absolutely insane. So here was my hit right here. Okay, you can see that nice little entrance hole there. And let's go around the back here and take a look at the back of it. So my entrance hole is right there. And here we have an exit hole right there. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can see some stuff coming out there. There's the exit hole on the first log. And then here we have an entrance hole on the second log. And then here we have our exit hole on the back of the second log. That is just ridiculous, guys. All right, so here's the exit hole on the back of the second log. It's 36 inches of wood. Just ridiculous. And then here's the entrance hole. So I'm going to hit it now with the buffalo bore. And if that passes through, what we're going to do is we're going to turn these around and we're gonna shoot at them the longest way possible and see if that makes any difference. But this is just insane. I just can't believe it passed through both of these like nothing. Look at that. Just ridiculous. It just went straight through. It didn't even veer off course or anything. Look at where the exit hole is here. It's just like in a straight line from the entrance hole right here. It's just ridiculous. It just went through like a laser. Absolutely insane. The 416 calibers are just excellent penetrators. Just ridiculous. So let's hit it with the buffalo bore and let's see if the buffalo bore penetrates. All right, guys, so now we're going to hit it with the 350 grain buffalo bore mono metal, 5,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, 2,675 feet per second with a 350 grain bullet. That is just ridiculous. Check that out. Absolutely insane. It's getting the same amount of velocity as a 30-06 with 180 grain bullets. Just ridiculous. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. That is just ridiculous. In the face with the scope. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, so here was my hit with the 350 grain buffalo bore mono metal, 5,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, insane recoil. Looks like we penetrated through both. Check this out. Here's the entrance hole on the second log right there. Exit hole on the first log. All right, so this is the exit hole and then entrance hole. And then here we have our exit hole. Check that out. Notice it has a bigger exit hole, and I think that has to do with the shape of the bullet. That buffalo bore has a flat nose versus the Hornady Dangerous Game Solid has a round nose. The round nose doesn't displace as much material because it's round, it just slips through, versus the flat nose kind of damages things a little bit more as it penetrates. But check this out, guys. Insane. Just absolutely ridiculous. And it just went perfectly straight through. Both of them went through straight through. Let me show you again. So here were our exit holes in the second log. Okay. And here we have our entrance holes. Look at that. Just perfectly penetrated straight through in a perfect straight line. So there's our entrance holes once again on the first log. Here we have our exit holes on the first log, entrance holes on the second log, and then exit holes on the second log. That is just ridiculous, guys. Absolutely insane. So let's turn these around the long ways, which they'll each be about 19.5 inches. And that'll get us closer to 40 inches of wood and see if that makes any difference. I don't think it will. I think it'll probably just pass right through again. I bet if we had one more of these logs, it would go through. So let's turn them around and see what happens if they're gonna pass through the long ways now. All right, guys, so I got these set up the long way now. Let's see if it's gonna pass through 40 inches of wood, aspen wood. Just ridiculous. And by the way, here's our holes. Here was our entrance holes on the first one. Here's the entrance holes on the second one. And just so you guys don't think I'm BSing. And here's the exit holes on the first one, and then exit holes on the second one. So it just went through perfectly in a straight line. Look at that. Ridiculous. Man, that's crazy recoil, guys. All right, guys, so here were my two hits, and it looks like at least one of them passed through the second log, but I can't really tell. I think maybe one of them I hit a knot. So here are the entrance holes in the first log, and let's come around to the back of the first log, and we got two exit holes here. One right there, and then one right there. Okay. And we have this big knot here, so I don't know if one of the rounds hit that knot. I'm guessing the buffalo bore hit the knot, so the lower shot was the buffalo bore, the higher shot was the Dangerous Game solid. And then here we have two entrance holes. Okay, we got one right there, and then one right there in the second log. All right, and if we come around the back of the second log, I only see one exit hole right here. You see? I don't see a second exit hole anywhere. So I don't know if it got stuck in the second log. Looks like there's like a little knot here somewhere. Maybe it hit that knot or something. But one of them definitely passed through. So I'm guessing this was the Dangerous Game solid, because it looks like it's higher. And it looks like the buffalo bore didn't pass through, but it easily passed through the first one and went into the second one. So pretty interesting. But there you guys have it. 416 Ruger versus two giant aspen logs. 36 to 40 inches of wood penetrated through both of them. Absolutely insane. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to all of my 416 Ruger videos in the top right corner. I have them all organized in a playlist if you want to check them out. But this is just insane. I can't believe it went through both like nothing. So thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.